reschedule, so then they do it all again later, so it's been a whole thing. But anyway, we're here to talk about Week 11 of the NFL regular season. And these are all the games that we have slated. As always, I will start with the AFC, move to the Interconference games, and end with the NFC. And I'm not looking at lines, I'm not looking at anything like that. This is really just all my, I'm going to rotate over a little bit. All my own thoughts and opinions for the most part. I try not to look at what other people are saying or predicting. I try to look at Vegas lines. So we have the Bengals versus the Ravens now. I was dreading predicting this game because these are both two teams who've kind of been on a tear lately, and I was going to kind of let last week kind of guide my judgment here a little bit. But both these teams lost last week. So we had to ask ourselves which one was the worst loss. Let's go back, and the Ravens lost by 2 to this Browns team after basically dominating the entire first half. They came out, Deshaun Watson just carved up their defense, and it was basically perfect that entire second half. The Bengals lost by 3 to the Texans. That, although the CJ Stroud is proven to be very good, is still a rookie. And the Texans were still bad enough to be a bottom 3 team in the league last season. I think the Bengals' loss is a little bit worse, especially for a team in their position. I'm going to give the Ravens the edge here, but this game could go either way, and I'm super excited for this one. This is a must-watch for me this week. Next up, we have the Raiders going against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins is coming off of a bye. The Raiders had a win last week that was extremely sloppy, not at all convincing, and not really inspiring of confidence. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Dolphins. I don't think that's going to be too controversial. To me, the Steelers going in to play the Cleveland Browns, and man, the Browns are flying right now. Their defense is amazing. If they can play like they played that second half against Baltimore, if they can do that for an entire game, then the Steelers are really going to have some problems here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns winning that one. Titans and Jaguars with Levis had a bit of a bad game last week. And the Jaguars got absolutely trounced by the San Francisco 49ers. Which team do I think has a better chance of bouncing back? I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Jaguars at this point, but I'm not 100% convinced, but I have a feeling they will bounce back from last week. I feel like that was a bit of a fluke loss, especially as badly as they lost that game. Jets and Bills. Now, I think the Bills should be probably the favorites in this one, even after last week. And they did just fire their offensive coordinator, but I honestly don't think that's really the problem. In my opinion, the problem right now is Josh Allen's decision making. He has now 6 straight games with an interception thrown. He had 2 interceptions in the first half last week. And, the Broncos, even though they've now won 3 in a row, they're surging a little bit. They're looking good. The Bills should have beat that team. They were the favorites in that game. And I think the Bills could be reeling a little bit right now. I think there could be a little bit of uncertainty in that team. I think there could potentially be some locker room issues, people sniping at one another. I'm going to go ahead and give me the Jets there in an upset. That'll be my weekly upset pick, the Jets beating the Bills. Cardinals going in playing the Texans. Now Kyler Murray came back last week And the Cardinals, they got the win. But CJ Stroud and his Texans got the win as well against a very good Bengals team. I'm going to take the Texans there. Chargers against the Packers. I think both teams, I'm pretty sure that both teams coming off a loss. I don't know, so far for me, Jordan Love is not really inspiring much confidence. Man, oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers here. I was thinking about it a little bit too much. I mean, I'm not super confident in this Chargers team, honestly. Their defense is ugly to watch at best, but I think they should be able to handle this Packers team. Now here's a very interesting matchup with the Vikings versus the Broncos. Josh Dobbs has now won his last 2 weeks as a starter for the Vikings after the Kirk Cousins injury. But the Broncos are on a 3-game win streak, and they had an extremely impressive win last week against the Buffalo Bills. And we're in Denver, so we're in Mile High Stadium. I think this is going to be really tough. I think Joshua Dobbs is going to struggle in this game. And I think it'll be close, but give me the Broncos winning their 4th in a row and shocking everybody after their rough start to the season. And now we have the game of the week. This is going to be probably the best game of football played all season because there's been a lot of bad football this season. We have the 2 front runners in their respective conferences, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, number 1 and number 2, pretty much unanimously in all power rankings, and a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Also, both teams coming off a bye. This game is going to be absolutely electric. This is going to be must-watch television. And who do I think is going to win it? Well, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I think, give me the Eagles here. I think the Eagles win it here. But I'm going to say this right now, the Eagles win it here. If these 2 teams go back to the Super Bowl again this year, the Eagles coming off this win, riding high on confidence, I would not bet against the Chiefs winning that matchup, even if they lose this matchup. Bears versus Lions. I'm not going to elaborate too much on this one. I think it's pretty easy to just take the Lions there. Cowboys at Panthers. The Panthers are probably the worst team in the NFL. Maybe not the worst. I'm trying to think who could be worse than them. Like, as bad as the Bears are, I don't think the Bears are worse. Hold on, I'm going to quickly look up who's at the bottom of power rankings. Also, I got a comment last week or somebody asking me to get a ring light for these videos today. Shoot at nighttime, usually I shoot during the day and a little bit of light comes in. I do have a light. I literally just always forget to grab it, and I hate myself for it. Okay, who's at the bottom of the power rankings right now? The Patriots, the Giants, yeah, the Panthers are at the bottom. So yeah, give me the Cowboys there. The Cowboys are absolutely rolling. They've looked really good these last couple weeks. Giants versus Commanders, Sam Howell. I mean, I just watched Sam Howell play my Seahawks, and they took us to the brink. Sam Howell is pretty legit. I didn't really realize it, but give me the Commanders there. Buccaneers at Niners. I'll take the Niners. And then finally we get the Seahawks at Rams. Now, I'm not confident about this game because even when the Seahawks were really good and the Rams were really bad, the Rams would beat us. Like, it's just kind of our kryptonite. But the Seahawks are coming into a really difficult part of our schedule after this week that's going to basically make or break our playoff hopes. So we need to get this win here before we start that really difficult stretch. So just for the homer in me, I'm going to pick the Seahawks here to win, but it honestly would not shock me if the Rams win this game. So in the AFC, I have the Ravens being the Bengals, the Dolphins being the Raiders, the Browns being the Steelers, the Jaguars being the Titans, and the Jets upsetting the Bills. In our interconference game, I have the Texans beating the Cardinals, Chargers being the Packers, Broncos being the Vikings, and Eagles being the Chiefs in the NFC. I have the Lions being the Bears, Cowboys beating the Panthers, Commanders being the Giants, Niners being the Buccaneers, and the Seahawks being the Rams. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Tomorrow I'm going to have a very interesting whisper-related, life-related sort of ramble coming out. So, stay tuned for that if that sounds interesting.